Welcome back to another video. So today we're back on the Mustang. I just kind of pushed it forward a little bit. What I'm gonna be doing right now is I'm gonna get the door installed and the fender on both sides. And since we have a nice day today, I'm gonna push it out and sand it outside just so we don't have a bunch of just dust collecting in the shop. So yeah, that's the plan for right now. I'm just gonna slap the doors, fenders on, push it outside and get to work getting it sanded down. So we got the car pulled out. It's probably like you guys this is kind of what the color looks like in the sun. Super like green and gold. Looks super nice. So what I'm gonna be doing is, since the fenders sit so low, I'll probably pop the fenders off and sand them off of the car. But the doors, I could kind of get down there, so it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna pop the fenders off, kind of put them on stands, and just start to get stuff sanded down. But looks really good. Once it's all the same color, it's gonna be nice. So we got both the fenders sanded down with 600. They're all ready for paint for the most part. And I started on the driver's door. And so all along down here and up here, I had runs. So all along the bottom and kind of along here, I had some runs. You could still see I still need to get those out. But these, I was just trying to get them out with a razor blade, get them flattened out so I can hit it with 600 to just get rid of them completely. And when I was doing one, I was going with the razor and it peeled up some paint. So what I ended up doing was I just got an air gun and kind of shoved it underneath the paint just to blow off all the loose flakes. Because you could see that this door was originally blue. When I bought the car, it was gray. So whoever prepped this blue didn't prep it good enough. So the paint wasn't really sticking, so it just flaked off. So that's kind of why this area is just exposed as it is, because I just kind of went and got everything that was loose, took it off, just so I didn't have any issues in the future. So I'm gonna need to primer that, which I'm repainting it anyways, so not really a big deal. The primer will kind of act as a sealer. So that's what happened there. But other than that, everything's going smooth. I'm gonna get some 320, flatten these out all the way, tape it off, and then put that door aside and pull off the passenger side door and set it on there. I just want to get all the 600 sanding done, and then after that's done, I will, while I have daylight, I'm gonna get the whole car sanded. after that, when it starts to get dark, I'll pull the door in the garage and just primer it up real quick, and then probably tomorrow get that sanded down. So I'm hoping, if all goes well, maybe not paint tomorrow, but I'm hoping to have everything wrapped up sanding wise. So all I have left on the car, jams are painted. This side is mostly sanded. So I got the trunk, this quarter, kind of the whole A-pillar and all, and the passenger side door left. So I got the jams painted. So I'm gonna paint the car with the fenders and doors on. I'm gonna just need to tape off all the jams. So yeah, let's get this door sanded up and get the passenger door in here and get that thing sanded. Okay, so we're back. It's the next day. I kind of put the camera down and just got to work, or my camera actually died, so I just kind of finished everything up that I could. So trunk finished, this side is done, the door it's on the stand over there. We're about to get it primered, but fender's done. And then on this side we got the fender done, door finished, and kind of like the top area, all I got left is this bottom quarter panel. All this scratching and stuff, that's just me. I was just scraping down all the runs to get it prepped, sandwich 600. So all we got left is this quarter panel and this door over here, the driver's side door. What I'm gonna get started on today is getting this bottom section primered. I was gonna do it last night, but I didn't have any rags to clean my paint gun when I was done using it, so I just decided to wait till the morning. Went, did a little run, got everything. So we're gonna get this taped off, get that primered so that it can dry, and while that's drying, I'm gonna go get to work on that quarter panel. And by the time I'm done with that, that'll probably take like an hour or so. By the time I'm done with that, this primer will probably be dry enough to sand. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And then after that, I'm gonna slap the door back on the car, pull the car back in, and start the process of getting everything masked off. I don't know if I'll start painting today. Maybe. The possibility is there, because in all reality, I don't have much work to do. It all just depends on how long it takes to mask off. But yeah, let's set you guys up and get to work getting this door primered. So we got it all taped up. I ended up using, I got foam tape on the edges here, just so when I spray down the primer, there isn't a hard line. The foam tape kind of gradually brings it down. It makes it a lot easier to sand. It just saves me time sanding is all. Get it cleaned up, get the garage door closed, start prepping my gun, and we'll get it primed in. Okay, so I got the first initial coat on there. You could still see, I mean, it's very light, so you could still see where all the just exposed bare metal was. But I just don't want to go too heavy to make it run. So first coat, just kind of coverage, base coverage. Like I said, didn't really cover much, but just to get it on there. I'll let this sit for about 5-10 minutes. And then I'll get back and put a lot heavier of a coat on, and that'll kind of cover it up. And then if that doesn't do it, I'll do a third coat if needed. But I think 2 coats should be enough. But yeah, and then kind of see all like the sanding scratches. So I might do 3 coats, 1 light coat like this, and then 2 heavy coats, just so I can sand out all those scratches. But So yeah, I'm gonna give this about 10 minutes to dry and we'll be back putting on another coat. So I ended up putting 3 coats on it. You can see now everything is covered. The only thing is, I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up on camera, but you can kind of see the waviness right there. The reason for that, I believe, is I didn't have any primer on hand, so I filled it in with sealer, which I thought would be the same thing, but I don't think it's as thick of a material, so I don't think it's filling in as good. So what I'm gonna do before I do anything else, I'm gonna wait for this to dry. I'm gonna hop on, I'm gonna get that quarter panel done. But for this, I'm gonna sand it down, and maybe I'll wet sand it with 400 grit on a flat block, and maybe I'll be able to flatten it out. If not, I'm gonna just have to buy some primer and just redo it completely, because that, I'm not really a big fan. Let's see if we can get from this side. Yeah, you could see all the waviness in the middle. I'm not really a big fan of that. That's gonna be very visible. So I'm gonna wait for it to dry. I'll give it a few hours while I get that thing sanded, that quarter panel. And then after that, I'll hop on this with some wet 400 grit on a block. Block it out. If it flattens out, great. If not, I'm gonna have to just go get some primer, which is not a big deal, but I'm glad I caught that now so that I can fix it. So that way I wouldn't be painting it and then I'd see it and then I'd kind of be shit out of luck. So yeah, I'm gonna set you guys up and we'll get to work on that quarter panel. So we got the car all done. This is still, it's probably like an hour later, and this is really tacky, and you could tell like everything's starting to show through. So I'm definitely gonna sand it down and re-primer it. But what I'm gonna do right now, because it's kind of cold out here, it's like 50 degrees, so I'm gonna carry it inside and just let it warm up. Okay, so got the car pulled in back in the garage and got the whole side sanded down. This area's, I like wiped it down with acetone. I just need to wipe off the doors and the fender. What I'm gonna do in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the driver door to dry, because that sealer is still, I threw the door inside the house to let it dry because it's kind of cold in the shop. I got the fire going in the back, but it'll take a while before it warms up. So it's like 70 degrees in the house. I just let it warm up in there. But while we're waiting for the door to dry, since everything else is sanded and it's gonna take a while to do this regardless, I'm gonna just start taping off this side of the car. So it's gonna get painted exactly like this. Door's gonna be on, fender's gonna be on. What I'm gonna do is, fender will get picked up a little bit so they'll be a little more even, so it's not so close up there. But what I'm gonna do is I have foam tape that, and then same thing with the gap down there. It'll tighten up once I put a bolt on the bottom. I'm gonna run foam tape in there, foam tape along this edge, along the front edge. Basically, the only place I don't think, there's gonna be foam tape everywhere where there's a seam. So like along here, all the way up, foam tape around there, foam tape around here, foam tape down there, foam tape around. I'm gonna just foam tape all the edges just so there's no. So I'm gonna set you guys up. I'm gonna get the rest of this side blown off and wiped down. And then I'm going to get the foam tape out and just start getting all the edges foam taped in. So got the passenger side mostly wrapped up. This is kind of what we're looking like. You can see we got the tape down the seams, tape along the top. tape along here, around the window, tape going down, going around in that crack. It's hard to see, but it's in there, and then going all the way up the window. And then I just made where the spoiler, there's just little plugs in all those holes. So this side is 90, I'd say about 90% done, because there's still small stuff like this, like where it's kind of coming off. So I'm gonna need to put it there and then just tape it from the back side with just some masking tape to make sure it holds it on there. But that's neither here nor there. For the most part, it's on there. I can fiddle around with it once I'm actually gonna be taping off the car. But for right now, got the driver door, it's all hardened up. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna get 400 grit on a block and just wet sand this whole thing down. I did make the decision to primer it, so I'm gonna just wet sand this sucker down, just to kind of, it'll be like basically like another layer just to help level everything out. I'll get that sanded down, and then it's getting pretty late right now. I think after I get this done, after I get this done, I might start just walking around the car and all the corners that are peeling off, like all these corners where it's really pulling on it, and just get tape behind them. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So it's on there, and I just kind of got a piece of tape just holding it in there. It's enough to make it not want to fall back off. But yeah, let me set you guys up and we'll get to work getting this door wet sanded. So we got that door all sanded down. There's still some like material left on there, but that's fine. I ended up getting the DA on some 320 just to make the process go by a little quicker. That's why you saw me switch like halfway through. But got it sanded down. It's getting pretty late. So I'm gonna just finish off with that. I don't have primer here. I gotta go stop by, pick it up tomorrow. So, got the door done. Car on jack stands in the air, took the wheels off. We're getting close. So, tomorrow, crossing my fingers, I'm hoping we'll be laying down some paint tomorrow. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So got the door all sanded down. I got it mounted back on the car. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna move over to the passenger side just to kind of knock out things in sections. And I mean, you could see what I'm talking about when this tape just kind of starts coming off. So I'm gonna put that on and then just put masking tape behind it to kind of hold it on. But what I'm gonna start with is, since this side is mostly masked off, I'm gonna finish this side off, get it 100% masked, and then move to the other side instead of just kind of masking off that side and then jumping over here and jumping back and forth. I feel like it'll flow a lot faster. So you can see I already got the door handles got them taped out, got little plugs put in here, in all the holes, tape into the lock hole right there. So I'm just moving on to passenger side. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go around everywhere and, you know, just put some masking tape behind it to hold it in place. And then after that, we'll start laying down some paper. Welcome back. Last night, we just got the car all painted up, and finally, after the second time painting it, everything turned out just absolutely beautiful. Fender, gorgeous. Door, rear quarter, everything is just looking absolutely perfect. There's a few, I don't know if you can see it right there, few small runs. I think the door is the only one with runs actually, but there's a few small runs on the door. Fender, honestly, I'm not sure. Quarter panel, none. But everything turned out freaking just absolutely perfect. And then here's kind of like the color contrast, because we got a black wing, black roof, mirrors not on this side, but black mirrors. And it just looks super, super good. So that's, I'm stoked on that. But after I got the car painted, these wheels, the silver doesn't really flow well together with the green. So I'm gonna have them repowder coated. I'm kind of gonna go like a black and green. That's gonna be the main color on this car. So I'm gonna get some ink black wheels. I'm gonna get them, well, the same ones. I'm just gonna get them repowder coated. So wheels are gonna be black. Car's gonna be green. I'm gonna lower it a little bit more, mainly in the back. I'm gonna get the calipers. They're gonna be like a bright orange. I think that'll break up the colors a lot. And then there'll be 2 black racing stripes down the hood. Down the hood, bumper, rear trunk, rear bumper. And that'll all kind of tie together. So what we need to do next is, you can see I pulled out the side skirts, pulled out the front bumper and rear bumper. Side skirts and rear bumper, I'm not too concerned about. There's really not all too much to prep on those. And you can see the side skirt has like a scratch on it. So gonna fill that in, sand it down. Rear bumper, same thing. There's rock chips all along here. So I'm gonna either sand it down or fill them in. We'll see what happens when we get some sandpaper on there. But the front bumper is what's gonna need the most of my attention. You can see there's, like, this isn't, you know, from rock chips. The paint is just flaking from bad prep whenever they painted it. So I need to take this lip off. This lip it's a nice lip, OEM, you know, gt500 lip, but it's all cracked and broken up. So I'm gonna replace it with a carbon fiber one. It's not too much more expensive than just buying a replacement one of these. So lip off, strip the lights out, and then same thing on this side. You can see it's just chipping away. So I'm gonna try my best to strip it all the way down back to this primer, the orange primer, and just kind of start fresh, because I don't want this thing peeling, you know, a year, 2 years down the road. That kind of suck. So we're gonna get to work probably on the front bumper first, since it's the most work. Get everything unbolted, lights, strip it down, put probably some 320 and just go ham. Maybe 150, probably 150 or 180. I might go that crazy, but I don't like to go that low on grits on plastic. It likes to fray it up a lot. So yeah, we'll set this up on the stand, get it stripped down, and get to sanding it down. So got the front bumper all sanded down with 320. Before I lay down the primer, I'm gonna go around with like a spot filler putty and just, there's rock chips right here along the whole front face of the bumper. So I'm gonna go fill those in, let it dry, and then sand it flat, and then primer over that, just so we have a nice, smooth, flat surface to start with. So yeah, let's get this sucker filled out. That's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I ended up getting the bumpers painted. This is kind of the first view you guys are seeing of kind of what the whole car looks like in the color. And I mean, it doesn't tell too well in the shade, but in the sun, I'm just happy that the color matched, that we painted the fenders and bumpers. We painted them at a separate time, but the color matches just on point. I ended up doing all that off camera because my camera died again. I didn't realize till I was literally about to start painting, so I just got it done. So now that we got that all finished up, we have two things left to paint. Once I pulled this passenger side quarter panel out in the sun, you saw me, I blocked the whole thing out already with 400 grit on a flat block. All these low spots right here, they are all those high spots that I sanded down. When you looked at it at an angle, you could see the old runs that I didn't sand down enough. So when you look down the side, you could just see them underneath, and I just wasn't happy with it at all, especially with how good everything else came out. I wasn't gonna let that slide. And it's not too much work to just repaint this one quarter panel since there's already so much color on it already. So we got that quarter panel, we have this hood left, and then that's it for painting. I guess you could consider, like, I need 2 door handles and a gas cap, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not really too concerned about it. But this is kind of the duo I was going for. That's the bike that this whole car was inspired by. So I don't know if it'll pick up too well on camera, but that color is exactly the same. It kind of looks, it almost looks more gold on video, but in person it's exactly the same. And then orange on the side of the tank, that's why the brakes are going orange. That's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.